The scourge of illegal immigration will end in our nation, and Tennessee will help lead the way. That's the message from our Republican lawmakers here who released a series of bills to crack down on the amount of people in the U.S. unlawfully.
But immigration advocates say this legislation isn't about helping Tennesseans. It's about using Tennessee as a testing ground to turn the volunteer state into a surveillance state.
The bills championed by our elected leaders and the supermajority do nothing to address the problems faced by everyday Tennesseans.
Yeah, it is certainly, Carrie, a hot button issue impacting everyone, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, which is why we're continuing to follow the very latest for you tonight at 6. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. These proposed bills, at least 8 or 9 in all, they're in the process of being filed. We got a lot to cover tonight.
No doubt. Chris Davis has spent the day, as usual, up on the Hill. He's asking Republican lawmakers for more details, also exploring what this could mean if the legislation passes.
Welcome to everyone who's here today.
This wasn't your typical end-of-week news conference for Tennessee Republicans.
Well, I think we all would like to thank the White House, including Stephen Miller.
After partnering with the Trump administration, Republican leaders in the House and Senate announced they plan to file a slate of legislation targeting illegal immigration.
We're sending a very strong message today with this legislative package that in Tennessee, we want to be the model for the nation.
The bills largely focus on requiring every level of government to cooperate with ICE and federal immigration enforcement.
Right now, courts do not have to cooperate with ICE in our state or DAs. We're having a piece of legislation that will force the courts to operate.
That includes local governments, too.
All local and state governments will have to verify all new hires. Currently, it is optional.
Another bill would require the state to verify someone's legal status when applying for a professional license or vehicle registration.
That was a loophole that allowed illegals to have cars and have registration. We're working to close that.
Speaking of driving,
if our law enforcement has any contact with an illegal with a CDL, ICE will be engaged.
There's legislation about not recognizing out-of-state CDL licenses to undocumented immigrants and changing the state's driver's license test to English only, with one exception for people with work visas.
This would allow them to get a driver's license with a one-time exception for a 12-month period. After 12 months, they'd have to go back and take it in English.
Republicans also want to count the number of undocumented students that are in public schools and require local and state governments to verify legal status before someone receives some sort of public benefit.
At the end of the day, taxpayers' money should go to those who are here legally and lawfully. Period.
Local governments that don't comply or fail to report issues to ICE could lose their shared sales tax revenue allotment.
It's one thing to ask them to do that. It's another to punish them if they don't. Is it fair to do that? And do they have the manpower to do all of this kind of verification?
Well,
work?
some of the things that are requiring they're doing, the state's not doing, so we're requiring the state. But we're asking no less of the locals than what the state has to do.
There's no question there will be a lot more questions and debate in the weeks to come. Chris Davis, News Channel 5.
No doubt, Chris, thank you. Keep in mind, right now, these are just proposals. They will have to be debated multiple times, receive the signature finally of Governor Bill Lee before they could potentially become law. And while we wait to see what happens, Carrie, of course, there are a lot of people on the other side. They're not happy with this.
No, two sides to every story.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Immigration and Refugee Rights Coalition brought up affordability, an issue that we know touches a lot of homes right now. Leaders say the immigration bills are a distraction instead of focusing on what can be done to help everyday Tennesseans provide for their families.
Instead, they're focused on dividing us so that their powerful interest of corporations and billionaires can keep rigging the system in their favor.
One faith leader, you see him right here, Reverend Wesley King of Vine Street Christian Church, also spoke at the event, adding every faith tradition includes something about welcoming the stranger and taking care of the most vulnerable.
Of course, we are focused on hearing your voice on a wide variety of topics, including this one. So Chris put out a call on social media. The response was overwhelming. In fact, we received hundreds of your comments. Like from Jacquet, who wrote, "No, I am not excited. It all sounds discriminatory to me on the state and federal level." But Vicky says it's time for common sense, writing in part that people are moving to Tennessee for a reason and there is a legal and right way to become a U.S. citizen. She added, quote, "Do we want a country without laws? I don't." If you'd like to share your voice on this topic, scan the QR code to send us a message. You can also reach out directly. You can email your voice at newschannel5.com.